Dear Chair, ladies and gentlemen, UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities envisages certain commitments related to non-discrimination of persons with disabilities, respect for their physical and mental integrity on an equal basis, as well as the improvement of legislation. In this regard, Azerbaijan adopted the law on the rights of persons with disabilities on May 2018. The law covers the provision of all rights and freedoms stipulated by the Convention, including the basic principles of state policy and guarantees on disability, rehabilitation of persons with disabilities, their employment and social protection. The government has approved about 20 legislative acts covering a range of rights of persons with disabilities and support their integration into society, including adaptation of infrastructure and implementation of the individual rehabilitation programs. At present, a special electronic module is being created to implement the individual rehabilitation program, which will be launched later this year. The program includes a complex of measures connected with medical, vocational, psychological, and pedagogical rehabilitation, provision of assistive technologies, and development of the social skills. Rehabilitation of persons with disabilities is performed by 15 rehabilitation centers functioning under the ministry. The rehabilitation infrastructure has been developed in accordance with modern standards, and substantial work is ongoing to expand the network of such centers. At the same time, within the framework of cooperation with the EU, a new project is implemented with the aim of social integration of persons with disabilities, transition from a medical rehabilitation model to a social rehabilitation model, improving the quality of services and creating a new system based on the best international practices. The disability assessment criteria were approved and entered into force on July 2022. From this date, instead of traditional restricted 3 degrees, disability is determined by the expression of impairment of the functions of the human body at a percentage. In connection with the introduction of these new criteria, a legislative package was adopted, including 100 normative acts. In addition, about 40 legislative acts were approved to remove from the national legislation the terms and expressions used to describe disabilities or people with disabilities that were considered offensive or carried negative connotations. They were replaced with neutral words and expressions which do not create any negative image. On top of that, the government approved amendments to the legislation in order to create equal conditions and opportunities for people with disabilities to effectively use information technologies and the internet. The decision will ensure the accessibility of all public organizations' official websites. Moreover, in order to strengthen the social protection of vulnerable groups of population, 3 packages of social reforms were implemented in the last 4 years. As a result, disability benefits increased 2.4 times, the average monthly disability pensions by 82%. The DOS Center for Inclusive Development and Creativity, created in October 2021, and aims to develop the skills and creativity of children with disabilities and talented adults. The center provides training in the multiple disciplines such as media recording, floristry, gardening, landscape design, art carving, carpet viewing, tailoring, photography, and other creative capacity building activities. Such programs help to identify and develop the creative potential and the talent of a person with disabilities and give them platform to learn new skills, work creatively, build confidence, and socialize. At the same time, at those centers created to provide single window for social services, sign language interpretation have been organized to ensure that persons with disabilities have easy access to all those services. Finally, I would like to highlight that the Republic of Azerbaijan is working actively to create fully accessible physical environment for the persons with disabilities and strives to ensure their full inclusion in society, education, and employment. Social and legal strategies to promote inclusion for people with disabilities and reduce inequalities are developing and modernizing based on international practices, and spreading awareness for social inclusion and ethical acting contributes to the local communities and the wider society. Thank you very much for your attention.